Okay. Ugh, couldn't sleep last night, so I started a chronomancer. I'm gonna continue it today because I was having fun leveling it. I haven't actually made it a chronomancer, obviously, but that is the plan. Just verify. Yeah, okay. I was trying out the Raging Spirits, and they're okay without minion damage. I'm gonna switch, actually, from Raging Spirits to. Oh, I hope. I don't know if I even have a uncut spirit gem. I only have 7. Um, not sure. I was just trying. I don't have any tier 4 or proper level, so I'm just gonna have to deal with not having. Because I don't think. Do I have Arctic armor? That requires 22. Oh, okay. If I sort by gem level, it'll do this, but it only has headers for level 1 and everything but 1 and 20. 2 and 19. That's not useful. I don't know why it does that. Level 2 support for self damage on the Raging Spirits. I don't have any supports on Raging Spirits. That's probably why it's not doing amazing. Infernal Legion. I'll put Infernal Legion and Meat Shield. That makes sense. Oh, Meat Shield's only tier 1. Oh, that was not a support. Operation cannot be completed. Meat Shield. Probably because I don't have enough strength. Yeah, I can only have 1 strength gem, so I need a little bit of strength. Alright, whatever. I'll put it on later. Minion instability. Which is int anyways. I was just playing with it. Okay. We'll see how that goes. I'm just playing with it. Probably do meat shield as well. Okay. Because I am going chronomancer. I'm not doing a minion based build. I just was like, oh, this felt so good before. Let's see how it feels if I'm not speccing into minion damage. I don't think it scales on anything but minion damage. I mean, it does have fire, but not spell. But that is elemental. I don't know. You know, I was putting the firewalls down anyways, so I was like, well, if I'm putting the firewalls down anyways, there's a little bit extra damage, basically for free. So you caught the beginning of my stream today, because I started like 6 hours later than I normally do. I had to bring my dad in for a doctor's appointment. Yeah. Part of me feels like it should scale off fire damage as well, because it has the fire tag. But that's just not how things work. My dogs are going crazy at somebody. I mean, it's not nothing. Well, at least this time I didn't make her watch her husband die like 4 times. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna take the Raging Spirits off once I get a upgrade Spirit Gem. Oh no, I locked myself in. Don't do that. Jeez. Yeah. I wanna go Chaos Inoculation on this build. Actually, I wanna go Chaos Inoculation on my monk too. So I'm gonna go lots of energy shield really early on. Right, my dogs are really not happy with the snowblower going on outside. Yeah. Yeah, because the fire one reserves life. I guess if you didn't go for the life reservation nodes, then you could do CI. Oh, I'd have to look at it again. And the thing is there's no yeah, no light, so that locks your ascendancies. Okay, let me so if you're doing Infernalist, so this one would be fine because 50% it would just be 50% of your energy shield, so that would work. This would be fine. This would also be fine, but this would not. No, this would not be fine. So, okay, here's an idea. You go CI, you grab these two nodes for 20% physical damage taken as chaos, because then that's effectively 20% less physical damage, right? This is fine. This is fine. And that is fine. Or maybe you don't go this way and you go this way, and you do Minion, Firemancer, CI. That would work. You wouldn't get Demon Form, but I hear Demon Form's not great right now anyways. But you effectively get flat physical damage reduction. You could even go this way. Instead of going this way, you could go this way. Or if you don't like the minion, you go that way. But this really wants. I think this either of these really wants a minion. This is just a free minion. Yeah, that's true. Because if you're going minion build, you really want to do that. What happens if you take? Now I'm interested. What happens if you take this node and have CI at the same time? This wouldn't do anything. There's no. You don't have maximum life, so you could take it and it reserves nothing because you don't. You only have one life, but it also gives you nothing because you only have one life. Never mind. It's a dumb idea. See, there really should be chaos inoculation up here, and then like over. You got mind over matter over here, but imagine if maybe down over here or something, there was a node. Well, I guess it would make sense to be over here, kind of in the Templar area, that says increases and reductions to health apply to energy shield instead. It's life. So let me do the tilde thing, right? Yeah, no. Life. Yeah, this is excess life recovery is applied to energy shield. This is a better version of Zealot's Oath than what PoE 1 has. So that basically gives you energy shield life regen. So that kind of does it. But if you had some way that would basically make this reserve life, although then this node would be recursive, so that wouldn't be good. Okay, I gotta get my dogs to stop barking at whoever is outside doing something with the snow. We were supposed to get like a half inch to maybe an inch of snow, and we got 3 last night, so that was a lot of fun. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I guess the current witch maybe the next witch ascendancy will allow for um will allow for it. Keeps trying to get on stuff she's not supposed to be getting on. Just be a good dog. Do you get any snow? I know you'd gotten some earlier.
This mad wolf
Must be misremembering then. That sounds like me. Yeah, this is, I think, the first snow that might stick. Yeah, because it's the same. We've had dustings that are gone in less than a day. And this morning, I had so many people driving like 30 on the highway, and it's like, no, you know, I just want to get. Oh. I need to pick up yellows because I think that I'm missing a bunch of real decent gear. Like this is okay. It's got some resists. That's cold resist, cold resist. That's got chaos resist. Don't really need it right now. The helmet's garbage. Those are okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that we need scouring orbs back. I don't think that not having scouring orbs has positively impacted the game. Because the thing is, the jeweler's orbs drop, or the jewelry drops. So I watched a video. I don't remember whose video it was, but they had a really good point about scouring orbs. All scouring orbs do is speed up your loot crafting rotation, because so many times you elk, because we still don't have alterations. We just have elk, not elk, augmentations. Yeah, sounds right. It's probably him, or maybe Rax or something. I don't know. Darth Microtransactions is I watch a lot of his videos. But I think he's absolutely right, because the difference between now and scourings is, if we had a scouring, we could augment, no, transmute, augment, regal. Look at it, decide whether it's good enough to use. Maybe you want to exalt it. Maybe you think you need to start over. If you need to start over with a scour, you just scour it and you start over. Without a scour, you farm for that piece of equipment to drop as white again, or buy it from a vendor again. And that's not consistent enough to not be annoying.
Just a man, nothing more.
And I've got so many transmutation augmentations. I got like 200 of each. So, like, I don't want to pick up gear to break it down. So yeah, just all it does is slow down the loop. It doesn't actually make the game any better. Now, if there was some other way to have the alternative, to me, would be having chaos be significantly more common. So that you could, so instead of re-rolling the whole thing, you just chaos it a few times. If chaos was a lot more common, so that you didn't feel like it would be a waste to use it on a gear that's kind of garbage.
First ones.
Energy gives life to you.
Sanity recedes ever further into the dark. Shadows hover above us, in the corners, watching and waiting. What sickness has come among us that so unsettles our minds? It sits poised to strike. Nowhere is safe.
Now, defiler of flame.
Yeah, you know, something akin to harvest crafting, but maybe dial back in its powerfulness, and instead of, you know, because I actually don't mind it too bad mid game, but once you get to maps, it's so annoying because you're spending resources to try to get a white item. So that you can hopefully use a essence on it. I kind of wish, like, I know that we had far too many essences before, and having the different tiers of essence is annoying. But I kind of wish the essences were still more narrow. They're too wide sometimes. And you don't get enough of them. I think that you should be getting, you know, 4 or 5 essences during each campaign area so that people can ease into the essences being available and how and work out how they function and stuff. But even then, like, I have essences, but I don't have enough where I feel like it's worth using it on something. I was like, oh, I don't want to use it on something till I'm in maps. It feels like a waste if I use it now, because I don't get enough of them. Although I can put essence on my tree, and maybe that would change things, and maybe I shouldn't be thinking that way. That might be a PoE 1 way of thinking that I need to break myself of. Yeah, I also think that, and I think I mentioned this the other day, Path of Exile 2 has an identity crisis right now, especially once you get to maps. Because the whole point of Path of Exile 2 being split out was so they can change things enough so they can slow things down. And yet, every endgame mechanic highly incentivized playing fast, not slow. You want to do breach? Well, I hope you can kill things fast, because otherwise your breach is gonna close right away, or you're gonna die to the mobs. You want to do delirium? Well, I hope you can kill things fast, or you're not gonna keep up with the delirium. ritual. Kill things quick enough so you don't have to deal with all of them being there at once. Bossing is the only thing that I think you can be okay at. And you still will do better being fast. And you're never going to not do better being fast. But you should be able to do okay not being fast if the goal is to slow things down. Yeah, no, 100% agree. I think, like, they want to reward exploration, and yep, on your second character, you don't do any of the side quests. You really don't do any side quests that give you skill gems unless you absolutely need to, because you get a few extra dropping as you play. And you probably have some left over from your other character. So they want to reward playing slow and exploration. You know how you do that? Not by dying. I wouldn't recommend that. You know how you actually do that? Don't put skill gems that you're not going to need anymore. Make every yellow mob drop a yellow piece of gear guaranteed. Or an alchemy, or a regal shard, or regal, or something like that. Every yellow mob should give you either a yellow item or currency that turns something yellow. Every blue pack, not every blue mob, every blue pack on average should give you a blue item or a thing that would make things blue. Yeah, I would be... I think that everybody should do the campaign once per league. I think Diablo 4 has it wrong and not doing the campaign at all. It waters down the end game, and so that you're doing the end game before you are at end game level, so then the end game doesn't feel like end game anymore. So that's part of the problem that Diablo has, in my opinion, is the end game doesn't feel like end game, not just because they don't have a lot of it. They don't have a ton, but they have a bit. But it's also jeez, get off the blood. And also, you're doing it right away. And I don't think you should necessarily campaign skip to maps, but I think there should be an alternate leveling method. Like the whole, if you want to level by doing delve, like in the delve temp league that they had, not actual delve league, but the infinite delve league they had. If you want to do that for your second character in the league, I don't see a reason why I shouldn't let you do that. You've already made it 2 maps 1 time. You should be able to do that on your second character. You know, maybe there's going to be like a boss rush mechanic, and it doesn't necessarily even have to be a faster way to level. The campaign you might say, yeah, if you rush the campaign, you're in theory leveling faster, because you can, you know, maybe whatever they do always scales to your level, and so you can't be in higher level zones, which you can do that in the campaign. So maybe if you're good at the campaign is still faster. That would be okay with me. I'm not 100% against that idea, but I'm not... I wouldn't necessarily support a level skip. I think an alternate leveling method. Because one of the things about leveling that you're supposed to get out of leveling is every few levels you're playing with your gear, you're playing with your skills, you're doing stuff to figure stuff out. And yes, 90% of the people who play the game are going to be following a build guide, so they're not doing that anyways. But you really incentivize them never doing it if you completely get rid of it. Like, you know, obviously hypocritical here. I'm following a build guide, but I don't think. I don't know. I think the act of leveling in itself is good, and you should still do that.
Open the cage! Release the beast! Give me what you promised!
Oh, I thought he was transforming.
After all I've given you!
Although, I'm also kind of speaking from a position of somebody who has a lot of time to play. So, I don't think 4 to 6 will be as long. I think they'll be similarly like long. But a little bit shorter. I need to figure out something with my gear. I have nothing that I'm supposed to have, I think. I'm still using stuff that I've been using at level 1. Okay. Do I have anything in my gear that I kept? So this gives plus to all spell gems, so... Oh, that has fire damage and cold resist. Yeah, I think all damage is better. Oh, I need a different... Keep dumping my flasks in here.
It seems shadows haunt us both.
I think the reason it's faster is actually just because your character is slowly getting stronger in comparison to the content, and I expect that to be still true when they release actual 4 to 6. The first time you do it, it'll be a little bit slower because you're having to learn where to go. But at a certain point, once you have the same effective knowledge of all 6 acts, I think that they progressively will get a little bit faster. Like if you do a 2-hour first act, you'll do an hour and 45 second act, hour and a half third act, hour 15. Maybe not so extreme, but something like that. A general downward trend in how fast how long the acts take. do you have
I've
for
collected these over
wands?
time.
Chaos spell gems? Nothing. All spell skills. Fire resist, lightning resist. 42. This is just better.
I suppose I can let that one go.
Straight upgrade.
This hooded one is here. What would you like?
I just have movements between light and resist. Yeah.
That's
Having
a good
some
one.
armor will be better than having evasion, I think. I'm gonna try that out also.
Oi,
And gamble for a few wands.
you feeling lucky?
No. 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 I think that's equivalently the same. Ooh. No, I'm not going to be doing cold damage anymore. I'm doing electric and fire. Yeah, it does cold damage. I'll do that one. Couple more. Maybe.
See ya.
Be careful.
I'll try this now. You know, what game? There was a game. I'm trying to remember what game does it that had a catch-up mechanic for alts. I think actually I haven't played the game in forever. What was it called? See if I still even like way back before this. Might be around this time. Lost Ark. When did I play that? Oh, is it? Remove. No, add. No, manage. Remove from hidden. 2022. I hid Lost Ark for some reason. I think Lost Ark, when you're playing Lost Ark, and it's very pay to win, and I liked the gameplay, but I didn't like when I got to end game and everything was pay to win because I didn't want to. I put like $50 or something into the game, maybe 100. I don't remember. And when that wasn't enough to keep me going, I'm like, nah, I'm done. But I think this game has a good catch-up mechanic for alts because I think that you get to
I think not, Mad Wolf.
yeah, when you were playing a second character, you didn't you didn't have to do everything. You just played the main story moments. You did like a zone and then a boss fight and then it jumped to you, and then a zone and then a boss fight and then it jumped to you, and then a zone and then a boss fight. And that's an interesting way to do it, I thought.
Your pulse quickens. The eternal impure. With bloodlust empowered. Our Exile endured. But soon all will
So I wouldn't mind if you had like a effective boss rush mode where it's like, okay, if you beat, like, we're gonna jump you to level 15 because, you know, whatever, and then if you can beat the first act boss, then we'll jump you to level, you know, what is it, 30 for the second act boss, and then if you beat that act boss, then we'll jump you, you know, another few levels. That wouldn't be terrible.
I will take out your heart. Allow me to clear your mind, if only for a moment. The madness.
Did I lose you? I feel like I'm having a one-sided conversation all of a sudden.
Oriana used it against me. Where has she taken the beast? I found messages from the desert. From the Bastille? Yes. Find her. Kill her. But first, please, stop the madness. As you wish. We must make haste. Let us return to Clearfell to make our preparations.
You've good luck.
We can find the village. The village. Betrayal. The Countess has escaped with the beast. Every attempt to control it has ended in cataclysm. We must pursue her to the plains of Bastille. We should find the Marikath caravan. Well, my lady. Thank you.
I did not know if I would see the Vastiri again. It's good to be home. Wall of flame!
Back. Dang it. I was doing all right there. Gotta let my dogs back in. All right, I'm back.
You.
31 is what I'm playing these skills until.
It's been too long since I felt the rumble of a caravan beneath my feet.
I am a Sala. Sweep the trail.
From what I can see, the Faridan have been preparing for war. This night, now, grows warm. Wall of flame! mine was sealed with some still inside. Corruption seems to have taken them.
Okay, that went pretty well.
Who goes there? I browse as long as you like. Blessings.
Man. Like, that'd be okay once I switch to cold.
I will tell your tale.
Hey, how's it going, Katepis? Pretty good. Leveling yet another character. Trying to figure out if I have anything that is going to be better than what I'm using. Nope. Nothing currently.
I know the intent. Welcome.
Decided I wanted to... Well, in the middle of the night last night, I couldn't sleep. And when I couldn't sleep, I decided to come play a different character. I'm like, well, I don't want to play any of the characters I've been playing on stream, so I'll just start a new character. And then I was enjoying leveling a character again, because leveling characters is probably my favorite part of playing action RPGs. and I'm struggling in the end game, so I'm like, well, I'll just level another character then. It seems to be going all right. How is it going for you? Are you making good progress? Yeah, my ADHD does not play well. Like eight deaths so far in Act 2. ADHD, and no, I don't. I just can't pay enough attention. I will die in hardcore. I will die to something stupid because I look away and I shouldn't. But I just can't. Maybe when I level enough characters and I start making it to endgame deathless, I'm not ruling out that I'll ever play hardcore. It sounds interesting, but I struggle with it because I like leveling characters, so, you know, dying isn't the end of the world because I'll just start another character. Yeah. So maybe hardcore isn't as big of a deal as I want, but I still, like, I want the option to go back and play endgame on any of the characters, especially as, well, I guess you could just play standard on them. Right now, it really doesn't hurt much because you could play on standard. In once there's actual leagues coming out, then I definitely, because a hardcore character doesn't die to softcore of the same league; they die to softcore standard. So I really can't continue playing on the league, and that's kind of my main problem with it, which isn't a problem right now. So maybe now is the ideal time to be giving it a try. If I were to build a hardcore character, I would probably go Ranger. Because it seems so easy to make the thunder, lightning shot or whatever, lightning arrow. Yeah, building lightning arrow doesn't seem to hurt too much. Or it doesn't seem to be too difficult. It's not super gear dependent. Like, you do want high damage and stuff, but you're also ranged, but so you can stay away from stuff. But it seems like a good combination to be like the first character, because the everything else I played has felt really squishy compared to the Ranger, mostly because I can stay further back. Yeah, when you do get hit, it hurts more on Ranger, but you can stay further away from the action most of the time. And so I think at least the leveling, other than bosses. All right, something I learned about, or discovered about this, is if you start going a direction and you don't see seals, like there's seals on the wall there, you stop seeing seals, you're not going towards the person. I don't see seals up here. Oh, there's seals. There's seals. Still seals. Person's gonna be up over this way.
Nothing will stand in my way.
Or not. It's gonna be up over this way then. Because there's definitely seals here, and the other way is going to be the end of the level. Yeah, here it is.
The traitor must be sealed within these doors.
Dear woman, you are centuries naked me. Daria. Visions of earth. Darakana! Cool death.
Oh. No. Ah. I'm surprised I got that in the first try.
You fought well.
I'm actually currently playing a sorceress that I plan to go chronomancer. I want to have a character of each ascendancy at maps, and I'm not there yet. I do have a sorceress that went elementalist at maps, and I was doing the cast on crit stuff, and they gutted it, and I don't have the currency to respec it, even though they've made it cheaper. Because I spent all of it on another character, so I can't respec it right now. I don't know what I'd respec it to anyways. So that one's sitting waiting for them to give me a free respec, basically. Which eventually they'll do. Something will happen. It was cast on crit, Comet. No, cast on freeze. Cast on freeze, Comet.
Didn't break a sweat.
And then they reduced the amount of freeze that you do, which isn't the end of the world because I was doing enough that it really didn't matter that much. I was using the Comet as my main clear. It was basically my only damage. I was scaling triggered spell damage, which they have on the tree. So that must be something they expect you to be doing. So scaling triggered spell damage. And so once they made it so that killing normal mobs gave significantly less, or freezing normal mobs gave significantly less energy towards the cast on freeze. I then was getting a Comet every third group or so. Even after respecking all my stuff to go even heavier, like as heavy into crit as I could, or cast on freeze as I could. As much energy generation, as much energy saving. Still couldn't really get it to go. So because of that, I'm like, okay, I spent like 100,000 respecking things around. Didn't make my build actually doable. So then I'm like, well, then I'll just wait for a respec and I'll go to something else. I'm kind of thinking like a Firestorm build, maybe something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I also made Ice Strike Monk, and that's my most powerful character right now. Yeah, I'm gonna see. Right now I'm following just a leveling guide so that I struggle as little as possible during the leveling portion. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna follow an endgame guide or try to pivot into something completely different. I know I don't want to do I don't want to do the like rewinding time thing, because I'll just use it the wrong time every single time. It's just the way that it goes for me, and I'll get very little use out of it. So I'd rather do something different. Yeah, I mean, like, it's an oh crap button. I'm almost dead, except when you go to use it, like, if you weren't going to die, then you've just wasted your oh crap button. You know, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, time stop seems a little bit less so for me, but it's still more, possibly more annoying than useful. But like, increased buff duration, I think, was one of them. Yeah, and I've only gotten 4 points. I've not gotten a 6th point on any character yet. I am not good. I am not good enough at either ascendancy things. I'm hoping that the third one will be something that I'm okay at and will actually be able to do. Trial Secumus with enough resistance gear, I could probably do it, but I can't. I will never do a untouched. Yeah, your highest character, I think, is like 4 levels above where my highest character was. I'll check next time I'm at back to town. I did play a minion build that I've also gotten all the way to maps, but then I didn't really like the way it was feeling in maps. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll wait for some kind of minion buff. Or map nerf. And then they nerfed maps, but then I was already playing the monk. So... yeah, the minions, I think my most annoying problem that I have with minions is I'm using the arsonists because they do so much damage. And so I throw down a firewall, and then my arsonists throw into the minions, and then you move too far away in the minions, and they don't like teleport to you. They just die, and you have to wait for their respawn timer, which is annoying. But even more annoying is any interior area that has archways or doorways, the arsonists, the skeletal arsonists, their flasks hit the top of the arch and they don't go through it and hit the people that are on the other side of the door. So I have to like pull the enemies out of the room or try to get my skeletons to go into the room. Yeah, it's a thing. But leveling with Firewall and Summon Raging Spirits, or just Raging Spirits, was really smooth, and I really enjoyed that. And this character uses Firewall, and so it's like, oh, you know, instead of doing the Arctic Armor that it suggested, I'm going to do Raging Spirits. And I feel like that was a mistake. Because I'm not scaling minion damage, so they don't feel nearly as good. I mean, they're not terrible. They do have the minion tag, but I'm not scaling minions, so I don't know why they're on. I don't know why they're on sorceress. Oh no! Don't die. Oh, come on. Don't die to the little guys after beating the boss. Why are these guys not dying? Ugh. I don't know, my damage is lacking. Alright, so Raging Spirits, minion persistent fire duration. And so they do have the fire tag, but I don't think fire damage actually scales it. I think only minion damage scales it. And I'm not scaling minion damage, so it was a bad idea.
If you are did so, Sans guides you. We would not speak. Speak up.
Okay, I'm gonna look at my characters. See what all I've done. Okay, so I started with this character, which I planned to go Blood Mage with, but I was really struggling on it. And so I've not gone Blood Mage with it yet. And I hear Blood Mage is actually in a bad spot, so that one's just kind of on pause for a bit. Then I did La Infernalist, which... Or no, that's not the second one. The second one I did was the Mercenary, which I just respect out of rapid fire to grenades. So I can do the whole gas grenade, explosion grenade. That feels pretty good. I'm playing this one now with my brother, so if he gets on later, we'll be co-oping. And this guy will actually be able to do something. But then that was... I was struggling, and I didn't have the money to respec that character. I spent like 150,000 respecing him when I finally did. I didn't have that kind of money at the time, and the people I was playing with had to go to work and stuff. So I'm like, okay, well, let's do a different character. So I started the Sorceress, got to Stormweaver, got to endgame level 68, and then I literally did one map, and the servers went down, and they nerfed my build. I got to do one map before they nerfed it. So then I was frustrated. I'm like, well, I guess I'm doing something else. And I started the Infernalist, which I got to 68. No, Deadeye was next. I got the Deadeye to 71. This one feels okay. I feel like I'm making when I was leveling this character, I was making a mistake. Where I was valuing plus to level of projectile skills much higher than it actually was, than it actually is. And so like I was getting like +4, +6 to projectile skills, but then the bow damage wasn't amazing because that's all I could afford when I was doing player trade. And so it ended up being a lot of mana because it's high level for a medium amount of damage, and I would have been the DPS went up based on here's the thing is I wasn't using any third-party tools or anything to check the DPS. And every time I was upgrading from a bow that had +3 to skills to a bow that had +4 to a bow that had +6. And so the DPS was going up, but I learned when I started playing my Invoker, and he has the same scaling thing. I was doing that in the beginning, and then I'm like, you know what? It's going to cost me 20 exalts to get an upgrade for my staff if I do +6 to skills on it. Let's just do more damage, and then the skills got cheaper and doubled in damage. And so plus the skills is good, plus increased damage is better. And so I didn't realize I was making that mistake on Deadeye. And everything I was comparing it to was bows that had the plus to skills to bows that had more plus to skills. And then it was moving up. So, anyway, so I did play the Deadeye. And then the Infernalist, I got to maps. And then I didn't like the way minions were playing in maps. So then I started the Invoker. I like the Invoker in maps. And so I was going to keep just playing this character. But then I, last night, in the middle of the night, couldn't sleep and didn't want to play any of the characters I had played on stream, off stream, and I didn't want to start a stream sitting here in my bathrobe. So, I started a character that wasn't online, which is the chronomancer here. And then I was having fun leveling a character, so I decided I'd keep doing that. And somewhere in the mess of things, I started a warrior. And... oh, what? What is this? That's weird. Anyway. So I started, at some point during that whole mess of stuff, I started a warrior to try out playing on Steam Deck, which... when you mess with the graphic settings and turn it way down, there's some settings you can get it to look decent and still perform okay in the early zones, but it's only performing okay in the early zones. And I imagine, and then I was saw an article that backed up my thought, and it's like, I was getting a solid 40 with decent graphics in the early zones. That's not going to hold up when you get into Act 2. It's going to drop, it's going to drop, it's going to drop. And apparently, it's unplayable in Act 3 or something like that. Because it just, there's so much going on and the Steam Deck just can't keep up with it. They can optimize it for Steam Deck and make it work. Yeah, I don't think you're doing endgame on a Steam Deck. All right, I think my dog wants to go outside. I will be right back. She'll want back in a minute here. If my brother hops on, I'll be playing this a little bit later. But until then, I'm gonna keep playing this character. Oh, I also discovered something the other day. graphics performance wise, I was struggling. I have a 4090, and I was struggling to stream and play the game at the same time. It was causing all kinds of backups and lags and all kinds of issues. I discovered what it was. I have upscale mode on DLSS. That's fine. Max image quality, DLAA breaks it. I could not get... I was at like low everything and dropping frames, getting below 60 FPS, and if your graphics card is maxed out playing the game, there's no headroom left to render the video to push it out to YouTube and Twitch. As soon as I flipped that back off, I was able to turn the settings almost all the way up to max, and then I don't have any issues anymore. So, I think there's something wrong with that setting. Okay, she already wants back in. It's cold out. It snowed like 3 inches last night. I'll be right back. So my understanding of how it works is DLSS is a upscaling, it says right here, upscaling and analyzing while maintaining great image quality through the use of hardware accelerated AI. So it uses AI stuff. Well, okay, so if you're on NIS, so like I've got weird stuff going on. See, now I'm only getting like 55, 56 FPS on NIS. DLSS on quality looks the same to me. Like maybe I lost a hair of sharpness, not much. Why does it still say I'm only getting 58 FPS? Let me turn off the cap. Save. There's something going on. I'm in the same FPS even with all the setting with ultra performance. Same FPS. Quality. DLIA. I don't know. I don't know why this isn't doing it. I was having less crashes on Vulkan. I normally do DirectX 12. But I bounce back and forth depending, because even on Path of Exile 1, there's like a back and forth. They fixed a lot of crashes recently, so let's see if this actually even loads. Yeah, no, my FPS dropped. Oh, now it's up. And now it dipped down to 30. Now it's up. Maybe it's doing a little. I don't know. It's a lot less consistent. Maybe this will. Yeah, maybe I'll try 12 again. Oh yeah, and another thing to mess with when you're on this match is the sharpness slider. If you like having a much sharper image, you can turn the sharpness up. I think somewhere in the 40% looks good to me personally. Yeah, 10% it feels like there's a blur filter on it to me. Yeah, I'm playing on a 4K screen. I think like 30s to 40s. Let's try 30 again. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I did turn global illumination off because it was killing my frame rate when skills were happening. So I'll try the DirectX 12. No other changes. Oh, I gotta turn my frame limit back on because otherwise it will mess with the stream.
Source, let us.
No, I gotta. Did I already? I think I already looked for upgrades in the store. I do really like the change, so that you can use checkpoints as teleports inside zones. I do wish that the checkpoints, if you had found a checkpoint previously, that it showed you where they were, even when you zoned into a fresh version of the zone. But I guess that would make it too easy to restart a zone, teleport to a rare mob, kill it, restart a zone, teleport to a rare mob, and kill it. They want you to have to actually fight things like that. Which is why they fixed the respawn at checkpoint, causing them to respawn. So. So people were getting rare mobs to respawn. I think if you respawn at checkpoint, the rare mobs are not supposed to. Like the giant beetle in later in this act, actually. Is it this act or is it next act? No, this is this act. There's the giant beetle on the way to the fire or whatever person. And it's right next to a checkpoint, and respawning at checkpoint would respawn it if you destroyed the corpse. But I think that resetting the zone always respawns it, and that's intentional. Like, if you want to farm the giant beetle, you can go farm the giant beetle. You don't get the static rewards for killing him a second time. I'm nearly 100% sure that's how it works because, like, I've gone back and helped, like, my wife or my brother do the axe again, and the static rare mobs are there. They just don't drop anything for me. They drop the normal rare mob loot. They don't drop the static loot for me, which is what I would expect. But even then, a guaranteed refresh, kill the mob, refresh, kill the mob. You're killing a rare mob every 5 seconds or so. It was a very, very efficient loot farm. It wasn't really that worth doing the first time through Act 2, but the level that you are the second time through Act 2, or Act 5 if you want to call it the Temp Act 5, that was apparently very lucrative for getting like gear upgrades and disenchant materials and whatever. You played PoE 1, right? It's the same mechanic where you can like control click on a waypoint, or on the zone line or whatever, and you can reset a zone. And if you do that instead of respawn at checkpoint, and I think the idea is if you're willing to search for and kill the beetle, sure, go ahead, kill it as many times as you want. You're honestly probably better off finding a more mob dense zone and just doing that. Which I think if you want to farm now that they've fixed that so it doesn't happen anymore. It used to be that if you destroyed the corpse, it would respawn at when you do respawn at checkpoint. But now, I think what you would do is run through the Dreadnought. Because that's very mob dense. I think what you could do, because now there's a checkpoint at each zone line, what you can do is run from one end to the other. Because they're not static rare mobs, you can respawn at checkpoint and then run back the other way, and then respawn at checkpoint and then run, you know, and just go back and forth without having to actually technically reset the zone. I think that would work. Eater balls? You talking the drowned city or whatever? With the drowning balls? I guess I'm not 100% what do you mean by eater balls? Yeah, so those are drowning orbs. You suffocate and drown. And it's really frustrating because the same mob that spawns the drowning orbs also spawns a slowing circle that stops you from leaving the drowning orbs. So you have to be very careful. But yeah, that's got pretty good mob density as well, that first drowned city zone. So that probably was also good. I think the Dreadnought is slightly better mob density, but the drowned city would be significantly higher item level. So it depends on when you're farming. If you can do the drowned city and you can do it reasonably quickly, then yeah, the drowned city seems reasonable. Hey, no cast on crit meteoring me. They nerfed that. They just normal meteored me. Or comet, I guess. Whatever. I think if you can do that zone though, doing the Akarat might be even better. And then you don't have to deal with those balls. Ah, man. I'm just failing at dodging.
The darkness is now dispelled. May it stay this way.
Okay, I still need to get the Sun Clan relic, I think. Yeah, I've not gotten it yet. Am I high enough level I can do this? Yes. Upgrade Spark. And there it is. Alright, I gotta run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Alright. So, while I was feeding the dogs, letting them out, doing all that stuff, then my wife also came home. And I also have a bit of a headache because I didn't sleep well last night. So I think that I'm going to actually log off for tonight a bit early and take something and lay down a bit. So thanks for hanging out. I plan to be on at some point tomorrow, but we're starting to do holiday stuff, so I'm not sure exactly timing, but I'll be on some point tomorrow. Yeah, it was good talking to you. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good night.